Hiking Rurimeria in a nutshell. This was the situation on the road because it's a festive season and everybody and their parents and their grandparents and their children was going home. So we stayed in this traffic for almost 2 hours. Then we managed to maneuver the traffic. Then we got there at 10. We were not hiking in a group, we were just two of us. So we got there at 10, picked up our guide and started the hike at 10 something. So the weather was quite good. This is us at the first peak. And let me tell you, Rurimeria is beautiful. It was a bit snowy, so we were not able to see the views, but my face can tell you that I was excited. I was excited to be here. It was quiet, and the most amazing thing is that nobody else was hiking Rurimeria on this day. So we were just the two of us and our guide on the trails, which was beautiful. This is at the second peak, and let me tell you, getting here was not a joke. So that is me sleeping, of course, a nap. I took a nap at second peak as the second peak. Now pushing to the third peak is where the job came in. The third peak was something else. Let me tell you, I was tired. I wasn't seeing. My body was just tired. It was a lot. It was a lot. My face can tell I wasn't having an easy time. But again, Rurimeria is one. It was not as hard as up until this point. It wasn't as hard as I had heard about. But again, you keep moving, you keep going. I got to the guy. Everybody, I've already seen and admired pictures of guys sharing at this guy, the bearded guy rock. So we got there, of course, took a lot of pictures because it's something I've always admired from other people. And I got here. So once you pass that rock is when you get to the summit, the third peak. Then that is where it has beautiful views. Again, it was this snowy, so we were not able to see the views, but from time to time it would clear, as it is the behavior of Aberdares. The weather keeps showing up, the weather keeps acting up, the weather decides. Then after we stopped at the third peak, to eat. We ate. This is the first peak, the second peak, and now finally the third peak. At the third peak, now from there it's the summit push, and we got to the summit. Let me tell you, it was beautiful. It was so beautiful. But now pushing to get to the summit, the last stretch, it's something else. That place is steep. You just don't want to move. Then that's me at the summit. I was so happy to get to the summit. It was not as tough as I've always heard. Everyone is like, oh, Rurimeria is tough. Oh, Rurimeria. But I think my experience is different, and that just says, just go and experience something for yourself. Just because somebody says it's difficult doesn't mean it's difficult. Like, go and experience it for yourself and you will have a different story. That's me, of course. A million pictures at the summit. I was so happy to be here. And the fact that it was only the two of us on trail and now the guide, it was beautiful. It was quiet. And again, every time I go out hiking, it reminds me of why I picked this as a hobby. It's so healing. It's so beautiful. Nature is beautiful. We didn't stay long at the summit because it was starting to rain and we knew we had to start getting back. So after we ate, just had a few snacks, took 1,000,001 pictures, as you can see. Then it was time to start heading down because of the rain. So that's us. The beautiful views as you come down. What we couldn't see when we were going up, we were able to see once we were coming down because the sky had already cleared up and we were able to. It was so beautiful. I just kept saying, oh my goodness, I hope the people who live here know how beautiful this place is. And I was always being told, I hope even where you come from, you also know that it is beautiful, because there are also people who come there and they're like, oh, it's beautiful. Just look at this. Aberdares is the most beautiful place in the world. You cannot tell me that, because it's beautiful. And one thing about hiking is that you're able to experience nature, the beauty of nature, the quietness of nature, just being out there with your thoughts. Many other times you think that, oh, life is hard, until you go out and hike and you're out there and it's beautiful. So that's as we came down, we had a lot of fun, a lot of laughter, a lot of screaming, a lot of shouting, a lot of beautiful memories created in the mountains. And I mean, the mountains are beautiful. The mountains are beautiful. We had an amazing guide who he was really patient with us, especially me, because I was the slower one. So he was so patient with us. Even when I got to a place where I'm like, I don't think I can do this. It was just to, like, sit down. What do you need? Take a snack, hydrate, then we keep going. I will repeat this for the a millionth time. Rurimeria was not tough. Rurimeria is not tough. Rurimeria is not difficult as everybody says. Rurimeria is beautiful. It is not tough. It is not, according to me, and that's why I'm saying just go and experience it for yourself, and you'll have a different story. Because I mean, that's why I haven't hiked Rurimeria for the longest, because I was always like, oh, I'm not ready because of the stories I've had. And I went and I was like, okay, I kept waiting for it to get tougher, and funny enough is that it didn't. I kept waiting for it to get tougher, for it to get harder. Yeah, so that's us at the summit. Go hike Rurimeria.